Hi, welcome back. And no, I will go ahead and say this right out the front. No, this is not clickbait. My dad literally is quoting a judge a danger to society, and he placed him with a $10 million bond. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, one, because this guy was literally never in my life and then came around for literally like a month and then disappeared again. Um, my mom started doing meth. My mom started getting me try to do meth. And my dad acted like he was like the perfect guy. And I felt like, oh my gosh, this is what was missing from my life this whole time. Like, when I was a kid, I had a pretty shitty childhood. And I always thought because I didn't really have my dad in my life, like I didn't know him, I didn't know anything about him, and from what I understood, I'd been told since I was very young that like my dad just didn't care about me or like anything like that. Um but he wasn't around at all from what my mom was telling me. Like she had me when she was 16 and I was an accident obviously. And so she's like, your dad probably doesn't care and he has so many other kids, like it doesn't matter. But that didn't stop me from like wondering what my life would be like if I had my dad around. Um, which was kind of rough because my childhood sucked. So I kind of idolized this man that I didn't know even what he looked like. All I knew was that he probably had brown hair because everyone else in my family was blonde. So, which I was right on that. He did have dark hair. I did take a lot of features from my dad actually, which is kind of weird considering how fucked up of a person he is. So, I had always tossed back and forth the idea of like reaching out to my dad and stuff. So, it was like Father's Day and I was 18. I started doing drugs. I was like feeling shit about my life and I was like, maybe this will fix it. Maybe if I reach out to the deadbeat ass dude, maybe that'll fix it. Now, I had no way to reach out to my dad. My mom never had like his contact. She never like had talked to him. It was like after their hookup, it was just kind of like that was it. Except for one time he saw her at a club and he started getting angry with her about like, why are you trying to keep my daughter from me? And then he got fucking jumped because he was being unruly in the club. I mean, great, great track record already from, my mom's side. So then, obviously she didn't want him around and she didn't have him around. That was just kind of how it was. Which I'm like, fair, considering looking back and now that I know what the hell he's been up to and what he's been into. Um, well, when I was 18 and like, I was like, my life was fucking falling apart and I was like, felt so lost. I decided to like reach out to the only person that I knew of, like on Facebook, that was related to him. Now, it was his niece. And the only reason I knew was because my mom had told me that that was his niece. So I reached out to her and I was like, hi, um, my name's Madison. I'm, your uncle's daughter. I don't know if he knows about me. I don't know if you guys know about me, but, I was just reaching out because I want to know how to get a hold of him. Now this girl did not respond in 2 days, and I fucking blocked her because I was scared. I was like, oh my god, my dad's gonna fucking kill me or something. And it's like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Why did I think my dad was gonna kill me? I mean, I really didn't. I was just nervous about like the change and stuff, so I didn't really, you know, I didn't feel too good about it. I felt really anxious, and I thought that that meant that it was a bad idea, and so I blocked her. Now, fast forward a year. Oh, wait. Yeah, fast forward a year. And, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Backtrack. The first time I reached out to him, I was 17. So I blocked him. And then a year later, I'm 18. My life is falling apart. And I unblock her. And then I send her another message. And I'm like, hey, girl. Sorry about blocking you. I got scared. So, what's up with this guy? And this time I didn't leave her blocked. Now, it took her a week to respond. But I was met with like a lot of excitement, which I was kind of confused about. And she was like, oh my gosh, we did know about you. We just didn't know where you were. and, welcome, your dad's in jail right now, but, I can get you a hold of him. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, checks out. I mean, my mom always said that he was a fucking jail person. You're a jail person. He was always in and out of prison, basically, from what I always heard. But I was just kind of hoping that, like, after so long, like, maybe he cleaned up his act. No. So I end up getting in touch with this guy, and he is so excited. Like, he like comes off to me so fucking excited to be talking to me and like reconnecting with me. And I'm like, holy shit, like, sure, you're in jail, but like everyone fucks up sometimes, right? And I don't I don't remember what he was in jail for, but like something drug related or something. He'd been in there for a few years though. Wait a minute. No, I think he was in jail because he was a drug dealer, but he was in jail for taking a bunch of Xanax, getting in a car crash, driving, and then wandering into this poor family's house, eating all their food and throwing up on the floor. And he like recounted this story to me. And he said he'll never forget the look on the little boy's face, and he felt really bad. Because there was like a family, it was a mom and a dad and a little boy, and there was this fucking like cracked out fucking dude in their living room eating all their sandwiches like on high on Xanax, and that's my dad. and um and then he got thrown in jail for like years, and I think there was a girl in the car and she got really fucked up. I don't remember if she got paralyzed or died, but it's one of the two, which is really bad. Either way. He was telling me about that, and he was always like, people make mistakes. I make, I found repentance in God and shit. Like, and I was like, okay. I mean, I guess if I was in prison for a long time, I would want like something to hold on to as well. Fair, I'm not gonna, it's cool, Dad. And um, I don't know, I just met with a lot of excitement, and it made me really happy because I was always like told that he wouldn't like give a shit about me. And it didn't seem like that was the case at all. He wanted to talk to me like every day, and he wanted to always like be around me. Or he couldn't be around me, but you know what I mean. And he was actually like nearing the end of his sentence, and my birthday was coming up in January. And my mom and my dad and my dad's mom like all like made a plan to where we would meet at my birthday. And where the fuck did we go? I think we went to fucking O'Charlie's. I don't even like O'Charlie's. Like, we went to O'Charlie's, and he was in a halfway house, so he got transported from like, I don't remember if I think he was in prison. He got transported from prison to like what he called the halfway house. It's kind of like, it's still a jail, but like you're allowed to like request to leave, and so it's kind of like a transitional period between like straight prison and then like the outside world, I guess. That's how he explained it. So that he asked for like leave, or to like leave for my birthday, and they approved it. And so the first time I met this guy, he was at O'Charlie's, and he walked in, and I saw him, and I was just like, this guy is fucking like weird. Like, I'm like, damn, you kind of like look like me almost, but different. And it was like he was like a scrawny fucking like, but also kind of muscly. It was like he looked like cracked out, but like he worked out. So like, and he had like a lot of like he had a neck tattoo. He had like tattoos all over him, and they were like really shittily done because they were done in prison. And he just seemed, I don't know, it was weird. Like seeing him, like it made me sick almost. Like seeing this guy, and I'm kind of like, you know, why are you acting like this isn't, I don't know, I just feel like he was like so excited, which is fine, but like, I don't know if I would say I was excited to see him. I was really like kind of upset Now, my mom was there, obviously, my bitch ass mom, and she was there, and as much as she was protesting, like whatever, she's like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to be there with him. I don't want to do this or that or what the other. Tell me why at the end of our dinner, my dad is like, I'm gonna go have a smoke, a cigarette, and my mom was like, oh, I gotta go get something out for my car. And tell me why they were gone for like 10 minutes. And I looked at my, I guess, grandma. Like, I never met this bitch before. And I went outside and I looked at the car and I saw my dad and my mom in my car, but in the car. And I was fucking pissed because I knew that my mom was trying to fucking get lucky on my fucking birthday to my dad that I just fucking met. Which actually was later confirmed by my dad because he was like, yeah, she was trying to come on to me, but I was like, I don't know, it's your daughter's birthday and that kind of fucked up. And she was like, no, let's do it quickly. Because I hate to say it, not to slut shame or anything, but my mom is a slut. I hate to say it. And I can say that because she has, like, just chosen men over me, and not even just me, but my siblings, like, so many fucking times I can't even count. So, I don't care. And, from what I understand, they didn't do it. But I asked her later, I was like, hey, bitch, why the fuck did you do that? You're such a piece of shit. And she was like, oh my god, we didn't even do anything. It's my business, you know. Meh, 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 meh. I'm like, okay. And he goes home, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy's kind of weird. Like, I feel kind of sick. And at this point in my life, my stepdad at the time was still around. I hate this bitch. I hate him with a passion. This guy was so horrible to me for the whole time he was around, and he had been around for like 13 years, which I guess is why I idolized my biological dad so much, because I was like, if he was around, this would have never happened, because I hate this guy. And he was a dick. Like, he was fucking horrible. And, you know, I can make a whole nother video on how much of a bitch that guy is. But anyway, I kind of planned this a little bit. I can't say like I regret it, but I knew it was going to happen anyway. So I start encouraging my mom and my dad to talk because I wanted my mom to break up with this bitch ass dude that had been stuck around for like 13 fucking years, and I hated him. And my mom wouldn't leave him because she didn't have someone else to talk to. Now, I'm saying that, like, my mom hasn't cheated on him, like, 4 times. Didn't even know who my brother's dad was. But anyway, we don't have to talk about that. And, like, oh my god, I lost my train of thought because I started getting angry. Oops, sorry. So I started encouraging them to talk. And by that, I mean, I'll be, like, FaceTiming my dad through JPay, which is, like, the jail, like, texting, because he's not allowed to have a phone, obviously, so they have, like, tablets for them to, like, call people on, but it's, like, timed. I think it's, like, an hour or something. And I started, like, encouraging them to start talking, and they did start talking, and then, yeah, my mom did, like, leave my stepdad, and I was like, yippee, like, this is great. I hate this guy. I don't regret it, honestly, given everything else that came after. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was great, but, I mean, something needed to give, you know? And my mom, shortly after leaving my stepdad, came to me in the middle of the night one night and was like, I'm gonna go get your dad. And I was like, what? She's like, I'm gonna go pick him up from the halfway house and bring him here. Don't tell anyone. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, what do you mean? Go do that. That's illegal. You're fucking. What the fuck are you doing, dumbass? What do you mean you're gonna bring him here with my fucking baby brother and my baby sister fucking here? Dumb bitch. No, the fuck you're not. Oh, when I tell you, I told my sister. So great. Now my sister's like 4 years younger than me, and I told my sister, and I was like, "Why the fuck did mom just leave here?" Because I started having a panic attack, and my sister found out, and she was like, "Oh my god, we need to call the police." Well, we called the police. And the police basically were like, they called my mom and basically said, "Hey, your dumbass kids are here. Like, you ought to come back." So, like, you're making them upset. Okay, great fucking help, officer. And it just pissed my mom off because I later found out at the time they were doing fucking crystal meth. Like, that bitch, like, she says she didn't know it was crystal meth, but, like, I don't know if that's true. But she also said she wasn't addicted to it, but then she tried to get me to do it and like shame me into doing it. I'm like, okay, that's like not addicted behavior for sure. Yeah. And so this bitch brings my dad back, and my sister leaves because my mom starts calling us, screaming at us to get the fuck out of her house, basically. And my sister leaves to go stay with a friend, and my would have, my ex stepdad came and picked up my brother. Um, and then I was the only one home because I didn't have nowhere to go, you know what I mean? So I stayed home, and then my dad came back, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? What's up? Hey. And he's like, oh my gosh, hi, we can finally be a family. And I'm like, oh. Now, by family, if you mean my mom and my dad would lock themselves in their room all day doing crystal meth and other shit, and I would sit in there with my brother and bang on the door all fucking day because we needed something to eat, then yeah, sure, he was in my life. But when he was out of that room, it was kind of like, maybe it was because I was delusional and I was like having really bad mental health issues because this was like not long after I lost my mind, had a nervous breakdown, which I'll get into some other time. But I was telling, like, I was kind of like, I enjoyed my dad's company. Like, I would show him, like, Markiplier videos, and, like, he'd sit and watch them with me. Or, like, I'd talk to him about my mental health issues, and then he would, like, because he was pretty open emotionally, which was the opposite of my mom. He would, like, talk about his feelings a lot, and I could really appreciate that. So I felt like he was, like, kind of a missing piece, or, like the hollow part in me that wasn't explained by my mom was like explained by my dad. I don't really know how else to explain it because I was like, damn, you crazy, I'm crazy too. Like, okay, like, that's awesome. You're just as, like, I guess messed up as I am. You know what I mean? And so I guess I kind of looked past all his, like, prior offenses, and he told me about how, he was a drug dealer. That's kind of what he did. And he got shot in the stomach, and he liked to tell that story a lot, where he got, like, shot, and, he got busted the fuck open, almost died. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. And yet you kept doing it. Whatever. I mean, I don't understand, so, I'm not even gonna try to. But, like, why the fuck would you do... Anyway. My dad always was really good at, like, making it out like he was, like, a victim and everything. And it was really frustrating because, like, I started believing it. Because he was always like, my mom left us, and all my brothers and I were gonna go be separated in foster care. And so we all had to... Because my dad couldn't pay the bills by himself, and... we all started, like, dealing drugs to, like, make money and shit. And I'm like, okay. Oh my god, that is really sad. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe, maybe you are, like, just so fucked over by society that you had no choice. Which, I mean, you didn't have to take Xanax and fucking smack into someone's house and then go eat all their sandwiches and scar a little boy for the rest of his life. Like, the fuck, that wasn't necessary. Anyway. But he was always like, I don't know. Long story short, like I felt really connected to this guy. And then he got arrested again. Because obviously he wasn't allowed to be there. The cops have been kind of like staking our. I lived in an apartment. They have been kind of staking our apartment for a while. And every time someone knocked on the door, I'd have to help my mom throw my dad in the fucking attic, which was an interesting time to say the least. But eventually my dad went outside on his own to go like fix the car or something, and the police like busted up in there. You know, they like looked at him, and I was like, okay. And they arrested him, and I was devastated, and my mom was devastated, and he went back to jail. He had drugs on him too, so they charged him with possession, and he went back to jail. Now, I kind of stopped hearing from my dad. Um, and prior to the like arrest, he had started like getting really crazy. Now, at this point, I had been kicked out of my mom's house. Like, my mom threw me out um, because she was like doing meth a lot, and she had been trying to get me to do meth. But I'll talk about that some other time. And my dad went back to jail. But before that, I. Oh my god, I just literally ran. I literally just backtracked. I saw my dad like fucking high on meth, and my house, or I guess where I had been living, was completely trashed. He was like running up to me asking me like, "Oh my gosh, do you see all the cameras in the walls? Do you see this? Do you see this water bottle? It has a secret camera in the straw. And also, your mom is a CIA agent, and I found out everyone here isn't real." And I was like, Dad, how the fuck, how long, are you on meth right now? Like, I asked him. He was like, yeah, I'm on meth right now, and I've been on it for like 3 days straight, and I haven't slept. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. You need to lay down. He's like, I can't lay down. And I felt so bad for this man. Because I was like, damn, I thought we were like similar or something, but now I'm kind of thinking like, damn, bro, like you're kind of fucked up. It just made me sad seeing him like that. But at the time I didn't understand like how bad it was. Um, Trigger warning, domestic violence, but I didn't. I'm not gonna go like into specifics or anything, but my dad stayed around my mom. I think my mom bailed him out. I don't know. I don't remember. But he got back out. And, oh yeah, he got bailed out. Now, did he talk to me? No. I didn't hear from my dad again after that. Once he was gone away to jail, I never heard from him again. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But I knew he was still around my mom. So he had been telling me that, like, my mom didn't like him talking to me. And, like, his whole idea was that eventually he wanted us all to be a family. So he tried to do a lot of crazy shit with, like, trauma, like, dumping trauma and shit, and, like, trying to get us all to be a family. And I'm like, dude, that's not gonna fucking work. And I told him, I said, you have one chance. You have one chance. And if you break it, like, I have no, like, you have added nothing to my life. And I'm giving you a chance, but this is it. Like, you better make it work, buddy. Or you better change, or you're done. And he promised me he'd change, but he didn't, okay? So tell me why my mom tells me that he actually, like, he busted up her car, which I did see with my own eyes that, like, that car was busted up. He, like, beat the shit out of her a lot. That's crazy. Because, again, I didn't know about any of this. He destroyed all her belongings. That I did notice, that the house was tore up. And he, like, threatened to kill her and, like, other people. He was, like, saying a bunch of crazy shit about, like, I don't even know. Like, it's a lot to explain. So, I didn't know about this until after people started seeing my dad on the news. So he kind of went ghost. Um, not went ghost, but he kind of disappeared. And I stopped thinking about him. But one day my sister texted me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so funny. look who tried to abduct a woman." And I'm like, "What?" And lo and behold, it's a picture of my fucking dad. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, and I'm in my head, and he got charged with attempted abduction. The woman got away, but he was like threatening her, and like it was like threatening her and trying to like kidnap her. And I'm like, this guy can't be related to me. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm looking back, and I'm like, this guy was fucked up in the head for sure. But why would he do that? Like, I just kept asking myself, like, why would he do that? And I mean, there's a couple reasons, but none of them are good reasons. So I just kind of tried to, I don't know, be in denial about it. And I was so upset about it because he had been saying that all he wanted to do was like get clean and like live a better life. And then I kept reading article after article after article that had been put up about him. And like posts on the internet, like posts on like Instagram or Facebook about him, and they were like, he is like the judge who saw him classified him as like a literal danger to society and posted his bond at $1 million. And I was like, I don't know, I've just been like really fucked up about it. And it's been a while now. It's been like a few months since like I originally found out, and I I look back and I'm kind of like, that short period of time that my dad was around, what, like he seemed like he did like some glimmer in him. Or maybe it was me. Like the hope was just so strong that I was kind of just like not seeing the truth, but he always came off to me like he cared. And I guess part of me just wanted to think it was the drugs, but like why would you do that? You know what I mean? But there is no plausible or okay reason to do that. And I thought about calling him from the jail and just asking him why. Like, why did you do that? Why would you do that? I thought you wanted to get better. I thought you wanted to be better. And yet you're in here sitting in a fucking jail cell. I saw your mugshot again. And you're gonna fail everyone again, bro. Like, and for a heinous ass reason. And then people, like, and you know, I was upset at the people, like, on Instagram and shit, Facebook, like, commenting, like, lock his ass up, or why the fuck is he even in, you know, out here in these streets? And I'm kind of like, that's my dad, you know? But at the end of the day, like, this bitch is crazy. They right. This bitch is crazy. Fucking, he cannot be out. And I'm talking like I met this dude. This guy cannot be let out, bro. He is crazy. And like, it's not even in a like, I shouldn't be using that word, but it's not even in the manner that like his mental health is so bad. He is so fucking far gone. He does meth like it's candy. And you know what meth does? Like, if you're on meth and you have like these crazy mental health issues, dude, you're out of your mind. And like, I was personally affected by psychosis. I can't imagine what this fool is doing, because I assume I got a lot of my, you know, problems from over there. Well, actually, from both sides. Both sides of my family are like really messed up, but that guy over there did not help. You know what I mean? So, I guess, I don't know. I just wonder, like, at what point does, like, at what point does mental health not explain it? You know what I mean? And I would say that point is when you start hurting others. I would say that, yes. That is the point when it's, like, not, like, just mental health anymore. You can't just say, oh my gosh, my mental health is so bad, that's why I'm fucking being horrible to you, sorry. You can't do that. Naughty. So like, And I hate to say it because I feel like everybody can get better, but like I feel like this guy, my father, is truly a danger to society, and I, I don't like thinking that like some people just, I think everyone can improve, but I don't think everyone wants to, and I think that it really is easier to do bad things than to put in the work to eventually, to do good things. It's easier to do drugs and forget how you failed everyone, and like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's kind of messed up having like no parents. You know what I mean? Like, even if I wanted my dad in my life, I literally can't, or else I am putting myself in danger. You know what I mean? Because he's violent and unpredictable and has shown me and the world, basically the world, that he is not someone that you should like be around or associate with. So, if there's someone in your life that keeps like saying that they want to get better and then they're not, especially people who do like heinous shit to hurt others, like, consider like not having them in your life, even if it hurts. Like, I like, it's really hard like saying like I can't have my dad in my life. Like, it's not that I don't want him in my life. Well, one, I don't, but two, I can't. Like, I literally can't. This guy, he's out of his mind. And not only that, but he just hurts others, and it's messed up because I think to myself, like, I know I'm not him, but like, for that short period of time, I felt like I saw myself in him. And like, he saw me. He saw himself in me too. And I guess after everything happened, I kind of thought to myself, like, what part of him do I have? You know what I mean? Because I guess I am more prone to mental health issues because of like his family like line, but like so is my mom's. So like, I don't know. I just wonder my dad what is my dad to me? He's kind of nothing, and that kind of makes me fucked up about it. Like, I get jealous when I see other people like with their father. Um, I'm like, okay, my mom kind of fucking sucked at picking any of my siblings' dads though, so they're all fucking deadbeats. So maybe that's on her. um, I don't feel like I'm not sure if I explained this really well. I have been kind of like down for the last like week or so, more actually. And I've only had the motivation to like get ready or do anything because of my little friend Green Edition Red Bull. Um, Karuba elderflower, artificially flavored, to get through my morning because I was sleeping till 1 p.m. today. So, I can't say I'm doing the best right now. And I feel like this was just a lot of word vomit, but I kind of just needed to get it out there. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. And, of course, leave me a comment, thoughts, feelings, relatability. How does anyone else like deal with this shit? I'd love to know. And, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.